Alright everyone, so this video is gonna be about do not believe the lie that there's 7 billion people in the world. That is a lie. There's more people in the world than that, right? It's just that is either some of them they have no other choice but to stay in the world, or there's some that they have no other choice but to stay outside of the world. Because remember what Jesus Christ said. He said, He said, if the world hate you, remember that it hated me first. But guess what? Jesus Christ wasn't Cain though. I mean, not Cain. He wasn't Adam. Adam was the first man that was ever created in the world. So Adam doesn't know what hate is. He don't know what, being hated by the world even mean, but Jesus Christ did. But Jesus Christ, he's a descendant of Adam. He was probably like the 150 descendant of Adam. Why did the world have to hate you and not Adam, right? Now, I want you to know that something's not right. Because how come astronauts, they go in outer space, right? And they land on top of the moon, and you can clearly see that the moon is nothing compared to Earth. You can't stand on top of Earth because Earth is an illusion, right? Basically, Earth is just one little circle ball, right? Which is the core. That's really Earth, which is the heart of it, right? It's the core. But the illusion mainly is the sky. That's the reason why you can pretty much fly out of it and fly in it. You can't do that with the moon, but that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that you can't do that with the moon or any other planet. I'm going to tell you this right now. I honestly believe that these other planets are different dimensions. Now, I'm not saying for you to be like, oh, so I'm guessing the sun is hell because it's so high and there's no fire in hell. And plus, the sun is not fire. So I'm guessing the sun is hell. No, not even close. What I'm really trying to say is that when they say that there's no life outside of the world, so why you going in outer space? What's up with you with the moon? That's because they don't want you to admit that. Like, just think about it. Do this make sense? Do this make sense? Oh, let me go to Egypt and let me see what God they was worshiping. Oh, they was worshiping this. They was worshiping, moon god Ra, right? Or was it sun? I think it was the sun. They was worshiping the sun, but since the sun is too hot, so let's just go to the moon and let's see, um, let's see what the moon have to offer the same way the sun did. Do that make sense? You're from the world, right? You're from the world, and you want to do all this ancient history and whatever, right? But before you could even go further, you want to go in outer space to see what the sun or the moon had a lot to offer to many people and stuff like that. That don't make any sense. That's because there's life outside of this world. There's life. Because remember when Jesus Christ said, if the world hated you, remember they hated him first. Where were he? Why did you come to earth? And why did the earth hate you? Because where you from, they know they can't go there. So where is that? Oh, that's heaven. Is that a planet? Because when you go in a dictionary and you put celestial, it says that celestial is a planet, is a body, right? So now you need to figure out which planet is heaven. It's a possibility that is Jupiter because it's the biggest planet, but Many people's like, no, that's not true. Okay, I understand many of you do not believe in mythology, but isn't Aphrodite Venus? And isn't Venus not a planet? And didn't I just say that celestial is a planet, is a body, right? So Jesus Christ is from one of these planets. But because we so used to always hearing heaven, 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 and it's not in the solar system, you don't believe that heaven is one of these planets. That's why I say I believe is a dimension. Anyway, let me get straight to the point. There's life outside of this world. Why else would Jesus Christ say, if the world hated me, remember it hated me first? Where are you going? Where you come from? I don't get it. Aren't you from the world? Weren't you born there? Why would he say that? Because you're not from Earth, but you're here with a purpose. There's way more than 7 billion people on Earth. It's just that there's so many of them, they choose not to be in Earth. That's why so many of them, the way they talk, it's like, the way they talk, they want to kill people to believe them. Because some of them, they die for that. Like, they sacrifice their life just to see what's outside of this earth. Instead of trying to figure out, they didn't want to go to school just to stand on top of the moon for 2 seconds. They didn't want that. There's way more than 7 billion people in the world. Don't believe the lies, right? Because think about it. If God says that you need to repent, and if you don't forgive, he won't forgive you. But didn't Elijah pray for rain? And then didn't God tell Elijah, here comes Baal, who is the drought king? He's obsessed with droughting stuff, right? Baal is not from this world. He's outside of it. And he was preventing the rain. So, what do you think that there is life outside of this world? But because they're not making pancakes outside of this world, or they're not giving birth outside of this world, they not starting their own businesses outside of this world, because they not smoking weed outside of this world, you honestly believe, no, there's no such thing. Didn't you just hear what I just said? Where does the rain come from? It comes from outside of this world. Many people would say, oh, it comes from the sky. But isn't the sky connected with outer space? Yeah, it is. Right? And Bel was preventing the rain. Now, why is that? Because it's not from Earth. So why would he hate you? He's not from Earth. You're not from Earth. The only reason why he would hate you is because you would try to figure out who you are. That's it. I personally will have to say there's trillions of people in the world. Right? There's the ones that they're from it, and there's the ones that they're not from it. Right? Because another thing. Remember when Jesus Christ, no, matter of fact, John was beheaded because of some floozy. She wanted his head in a platter. Then all of a sudden he pops up out of nowhere with a new head, right? Because his other head was on a platter, right? But he popped up out of nowhere with a new head. Now, why is that? That's because that miracle is possible outside of this world. Here's an example. Okay. So let's say, for example, right? You say, oh, I want to go to a country that have the highest mountain. so high that you don't even touch the sky. You pretty much can touch stars. And everybody knows that stars is not in the sky, right? Is in outer space. But many of you will be like, oh, but outer space is a sky. Okay, now I want you to hear me out. Imagine you would say, oh, I want to go to a country that have the highest mountain just so I can touch the stars. Right? Now remember in Genesis, these group of people, they build a building so high that they said it was going to touch heaven, and God put that to an end by confusing their language. Why? Because they was bringing the future too soon. The way it sounded like that was housing to me. It sounded like public housing. You gotta be kidding me. So he put that to an end. He's like, this ain't New York. This ain't New York. You're not supposed to come out of nowhere with the highest building just so you could touch heaven. Leave that for New Yorkers in the future. And that's why the United States have the most buildings, because those people try to steal it from us. Imagine how we would have lived. We probably would have, I don't know. I really don't know. That's what I'm saying. Them, when it comes to them, they saw something. They were seeing people outside of this world. They were seeing different entities. Why else? Why you think the main country that that could possibly go to hell is usually like Middle Eastern? I mean, no disrespect, but it's the truth, because y'all be seeing things. Y'all be seeing mystical creatures. Y'all be seeing different entities, and they're not from this world. No matter how much they give you instructions, you can never be the same way as them. They count. But the thing is that God doesn't rock with them the way that he rocks with you. But they are part of this world. They're definitely from this world. Because remember, Poseidon, right? Poseidon was is whatever. He is a god of the sea. But didn't Genesis God said, let us make man in our godlike images to rule over the fishes in the sea? Isn't that not Poseidon? Of course it is. So meaning he's real. But God doesn't rock with him, because instead he want people to worship him. So meaning he's from this world, but mentally he's not, because of the stuff that he's doing. But because he doesn't have a regular sized penis like the regular human do, you don't consider him human. So that's why they say 7 billion people. He counts. He counts. He's a part of this world. Right? Meaning, whatever you want to call it, Olympics, whatever, he's no longer a part of there. He's no longer a part of there. There's many people that took his place. That's because all he had to do was just rule over the fishes in the sea. That's it. But instead he went human. Right? He want humans to worship him. The other one, I seen I think it was Morgan Freeman. He had like this video. I don't know if it's still going, but he had this video where he was going around looking for how God is met. And this country was worshiping a half human, half cow. So that means that entity that God made in his image was supposed to rule over the cattle. but instead became the cattle just for people to worship the cattle. That's why there's so many people that is against it and they're vegetarian. I'm not saying for you to be like, oh my God, this girl's speaking some actual facts. For them to be a vegetarian, no. That's what they do. Because they're not from this world. So of course, you mean to tell me you brought us into the world just so we can rule over the cattles in the field, just so we can rule the flocks in the sky? What's the difference where we live at? Oh, I don't know, maybe because you keep freaking coming here? You keep coming here. So since you keep freaking coming here, bitch. Okay, Lord, I'm sorry. Since you keep coming here, then you're going to rule over the birds. No, he ain't say birds. He said flocks. You're going to rule over the flocks in the sky. You're going to rule over the cattle in the land, in the field. You're going to rule over the fishes in the sea because you always coming here. But then when you see humans, you can't help yourself. You count. There's no such thing as no, that's the reason why. Because think about it. Look at the legions. How many of them? It said it was. It didn't say 22. I think it said 2,000. It said for we are many. You think that they don't count? They do count. Oh no, they don't count because they're demons. Really, really. So when these legions are casted out your grandmother, right, and passed on to one of her bingo buddies, right? You don't think that don't count? Of course it does. Because some of them they're not even dead. It's just that they keep transferring until the point where they got used to each other. They don't want to leave one another, and they're more stronger with each other, but their bodies are somewhere. They count. It's just that some of them they have awareness of their souls. I mean their spirits. They have awareness of their spirits. Imagine if you pray for you to have awareness of your spirit, and then all of a sudden you start seeing the spirits of other people, but you don't see horns, you don't see a tail, you don't see scales, you don't see gills or anything like that. You just see you just see shapeshifters. And you know they shapeshifters because you was just yellow, now all of a sudden you pink. You a damn shapeshifter. Right? You was this yellow sponge. Now all of a sudden now you a pink star. You don't find that a bit odd? You come across a lot of things, but they count. They're part of this world. So don't be believing the caca that they be saying, talking about, oh, there's 7 billion people in the world. No, it's way more than that. It's just that many of them, they have awareness of their spirits, and they prefer to stay here. They prefer to stay there than to stay in themselves. Because some of them they're lost. Some of them they sacrifice so much, but they think that because they are aware that they tying their shoe, that their spirit is in their bodies. Until you get awareness, no. Now you depressed. So I only had to say this is because something's about to go down. That's why the wrath of God is coming. And I've been talking about the wrath of God for a while. But the wrath of God is coming. I could feel it. It's coming. And I'm gonna tell you why it's coming. And don't be thinking negative when I say coming. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm a big girl. I am not skinny. I can't eat the way that I used to. It's like every time before I eat, I gotta spit first. and I can feel breathing in my mouth when I'm eating. So this idiot is aware that you are a spirit that don't belong here. But because you are aware of who I am, because you met me face to face, I'm talking body to body, because you met me body to body, you figure, oh, I can stay here. No, that's what they do. They make you spend your fucking money. Okay, Lord, I'm sorry for cursing. They make you spend your money. All of a sudden, you have the feeling of want to go visit somebody, and you spend mad bread. It's a terrible feeling. That's because they want you to go drop them off. When I say drop them off, I'm talking about their spirit. Their spirit is inside you. And then they talk so much junk talking about, oh, you so lazy, you can't even go drop me off. Who the fuck told you to come here? Because I bet you if I pray that the same people that does the same thing as you do, for them to be the death of you, you're gonna feel really stupid. And you're gonna and then when you actually die, you're gonna be begging God to kill me. Cause I'm sick of it. You don't have a fat ass. I do. Because you hear me say that, guess what? Oh, she need to humble herself. It's common fucking sense. I know what I'm talking about. I have a fat ass. You don't. So why are you here? And then you wonder why I suspect that you're gay. It's not because, oh, she got the best pussy. So I'm no, that's not what it is. Is when you want to feel wanted. When you want to feel wanted, that's how it is. When you pray every single day to God, you don't leave him alone. So these idiots they think, oh, it's my job. This is what God wants. He wants me to, hold you back because you bother him so much. Really, call me right now. For what? I don't need to call you. Really? Right? So you got me over here thinking that I'm schizophrenic when I'm not. It's just you are a spirit. You are a spirit that have so much to lose with me. So anyways, there's so many spirits, they sacrifice their chance of figuring out if they are a part of this world or not. The next thing you know, you hear that they in the moon, right? But guess what? You're not aware of anybody entering inside the moon. You are aware of people standing on top of the moon, but you inside the moon, right? And you don't know what happened because you sacrifice so much. And then all of a sudden you end up crying because you're trying to figure out where you at. You be like, oh, I keep having visions of like this cave. It's so dusty. There's nobody there, just me by myself. I was wondering, can you help me stop thinking about these visions? Help me change it. You're in the moon. You're in the moon. The moon is only meant for its light. Can the moon grow a rose? Can it grow a plant? No, it cannot. The sun can do that. The moon is just, and on top of that, the moon changed. So think about it. There's a lot of people out there, they talk about, oh, the new moon, the half moon, what's the full moon, all of that, right? Because it changed. Those are the ones that they can give you a really good explanation and why the moon moved the way that it does. But then don't say nothing when they report it missing. Because everything is so secretive. Everything is so secretive. They will literally say to you, "Oh, this is the reason why the moon changed the way it does," right? And then all of a sudden they report it missing because they were found. They were found in that moon. Anyways, so I would just say to pray about it. Pray to God and ask Him, what does Jesus Christ mean when He says, "Don't be a part of this world"? Because you think, oh, the behavior. Again, why would God take you from where you're from just to bring you into the world and make you rule whatever He tells you to rule, but then you do the complete opposite? So now He got to look for new people to destroy you, so that way those new people can become the new rulers. That's why so many people, they're obsessed with animals. That's why so many people, they're obsessed with food. That's why so many people are obsessed with nature. I'm talking about grass, right? Now, we love animals, right? Well, me, I like dogs, but why are they pooping on top of nature, on top of grass? Hmm? Now, I did hear that cats are thieves. I did hear that. No, I'm gonna keep it I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You know a boa constrictor, right? You see the way it looks. Some cats have the same spots as a boa constrictor. I kid you not. The same spots, um, the same pattern, the same design. The only difference is that cats have fur, right? And look at their eyes. They have the slanted pupils, just like a boa constrictor. Okay, where I'm getting at with this, meaning in the spiritual world, these snakes are really cats. No, no, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Remember what the devil tempted Adam and Eve, right? Mainly Eve, because he ain't had nothing else better to do. But he waited for her because he knew that Adam can't give birth, because he saw that Adam was dirt, right? But when he saw that Adam was formed into a human just so God can take a rib from him and create Eve, he saw Eve's womb. He saw it as a throne. He didn't see it as home. He saw it as a throne. That's what he saw, right? And he was a snake. So he's like, I bet you I could wiggle myself. Sorry, wiggle. I bet you I could slither myself inside her body and just sit right there in her womb. Right? That's exactly what he did. And he came out as Cain. Okay. So if he did that to Eve, what do you think that he would do the same thing to cats? Of course, there's no red cat. Right? There's no red cat or anything like that. But they have different type of colorful wigs. I mean, wigs. Did I say wigs? I meant snakes. There's so many different type of color snakes. They even have red ones, right? Red and black one. But you don't see it as a cat. Cats are good companion, but they really are snakes. Because think about it. Wouldn't you think that a deceiver will want to come to you as cute and cuddly? Of course. Of course it's going to want to come to you as cute and cuddly, but the eyes don't lie. It doesn't. Looking for a lion example. Just imagine if a lion had slanted pupils. Oh my God. Many people would just pass out. Lions, tigers, um, black panthers, leopards, pumas, jaguars. What's the other one? Etc. etc. Just imagine if they had slanted pupils. That's because they cannot be controlled the way regular cats can. Anyways, I just want you to know, be on the lookout when you find out all of a sudden, because whatchamacallit, no, I'm not gonna talk too much about that, but just be on the lookout when you hear all of a sudden they're gonna be making flying cars. How long they've been talking about that? Since 2020. Since 2020. The flying cars are rocket ships, airplanes. Those are flying freaking cars. Do they have wheels? Okay, airplanes does. They lying to you. They don't want you to know that airplanes are these flying cars, flying limousines. But they keep talking about, yeah, we're going to have flying cars this year and whatever. Yeah, so you could fly to the freaking moon. So you could fly outside of space. And they will lie to you saying, oh, um, they will lie saying to you, oh, it's not going to reach all the way up to outer space. Like, if it's not going to be somebody dumb enough to try to figure that out. Anyways, like I was saying, I suggest you pray and ask God if you are a part of this world, or if not, for Him to pretty much give you understanding why you're not outside of this world, or why you're in it. So that way you will understand exactly what I mean when I say that these gods, there's a reason why God said you to not worship no other God before Him, because they count. They always in earth. They count as the people that, just think about it. What the hell is the point of keep making videos or keep discussing about, oh, this one right here, she's a reptilian. Oh, this one right here is a reptile from hell. So in that case, then that means there's not 7 billion people in the world. There's less than that. But then again, it will be as if Jesus Christ wasted His time when He said, if the world hates you, remember hating me first. Anyways, I don't want to make the video any longer. I just want to thank y'all for watching my video. Ask God if I'm meant to be watched. And most of all, pray to God and accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Thank you.